same way in a 3-0 fashion by having complete ice in that overload. It's only going to get tough, but when you spend so much money in an offseason, you need to see early results. So hopefully Falcons able to fight today.
I hear that. Well, it's going to be Scar for the opening hard point. We've got Riyadh Falcons. We've got the Los Angeles Thieves. Let's get our Sunday kicked off. Let's get it on and starting things off with accident already contesting inside the point. Get outside trying to find against come over.
Yeah, it's good plays right there from LA. Dominate the mid-map control, have deli control as well, and now you're forcing all the Falcons to try to break through plane side. Celium on your screen trying to line up a couple kills to open up a lane through the middle of the map, but his teammates are just trying to contest and trying to find a different angle, and now it's on Exit on the pinch with Pred finding two to potentially have some time to get something here at P1.
Yeah, we got Exit also trying to contest on the right side of the map, able to find one by surprise. That Scrap who drops, and the action is not done yet as Pred's able to clean things out through the middle of the map. So really good start on rotation. The macro game started to be put together here for the Falcons, just a touch, but a bounce back opportunity as Kenny's able to clean up on the second floor of Motel, and it will be Thieves around the hard point for P2 to start.
Yeah, and you can already see a BZ in a very good spot to potentially catch some cutoff kills, but Kismet and the stun connecting. It's going to give them the opening that they were looking for. Clean for dead. The
nice. Early
break is in at P2, and you're spawning all of these now on the backside of Motel. So how do they decide to work on it? Because this crossfire is being set up. This is not going to be easy unless you get a stun or a nade to connect.
Yeah, huge heads-up play from Cell to cut off the middle of the map through the old time at P1, and definitely a better start than what we saw on Friday. I don't think any of us would have had out our wager sheet that to start with a 1 in 16 or something like that, and that opening hard point back on Friday. So much better here as the Falcons will grow their lead to double digits. Hydra on the opportunity to contest, but shut down as did. Okay, 6 in a row, 8 and 3 for now, and the Falcons still holding on with 12 seconds.
And they also have rotation as well. Kismet set up nice and early over at P3. You have mid-cut. You are fully set up to continuously grow this lead here. Now Thieves are going to take the slow approach, have a couple routes being developed. Kenny going to work his sweet time around blue side, just looking for one kill, and he's able to find it. So now his teammates need to get into the play. You got pressure from every single side. A clean 3 dead, make it all 4, and the break is good for Thieves.
Yeah, Thieves looking really solid on this break attempt. 40 seconds still to fight for here. And Zabizi chooses his life, and he's done better than that. 2 kills go to his way. Scrap in the corner, the next one up, but read pretty well by Exton, who's having himself a heck of an opener. 10 and 5, a chance to jump to contest as long as he's got a little help around him, but he's playing for the kills instead and finds the player inside the hard point. Opportunity with the pistol, and things are looking good as we head over to a Riyadh Falcons. Listen in.
Come on, MC. One day side. One to this side, I think.
Happy on.
I have ASND.
I will charge you.
Yeah, listen, I don't want you to do, okay?
They win you.
Yeah, got you. Half helmet.
I win you guys.
Half helmet.
We see one of you guys.
One shot.
Blue.
Two ASND.
One is top blue, I think, or the back somewhere.
Kenny and Scrap.
Yeah.
We see one, guys.
Yeah, scrap. Two. 1 v1. 1 v1.
Absolutely one of them. Grab the back in one. ASND, guys. ASND, BZ. Just bang time. You guys go past it.
Yeah, I'm banging.
I think it.
Time.
Bang time, nice, guys.
He's in me top.
I'm hitting gate. I have gate. Where do you go? Back to scrap.
One top blue boys.
Back to scrap. Stay down, kids. Stay down.
Back sack.
Stand left.
Scrap with the back one
Yeah,
shot.
top blue, bro. He just ran up. Paco's top blue, right blue. Top right blue.
Yeah, one get
Right side set, weak, Paco. Nice job. Top blue on you.
Let's go Nice idea.
Yeah, I'll get mid. Go
Yeah,
left.
have that.
Kenny front.
Yeah, only green boys.
Top green dead.
Scrap on the right. Okay, scrap on the right.
There's one boys.
Block the back for a second.
I'm blocking. You have time?
I'm staying at it. Block the back, guys.
Yeah,
I'm blocking.
I'll kill Ben.
In the back. There's 118 on me.
I'm
R1. He's R1.
I'm looking. I want a BZ. Only a BZ. A BZ went front green.
Tug of war here through the facade. Scar Falcons just down 5 with 38 to play, but time goes neutral and a chance to check in early to see how the Los Angeles teams are coming it out.
I got him. One time is one up bus. Oh, like one up plane.
Plane just sitting on the head. On time. Just sitting on the plane.
He's just hiding in the back. I'll get him. Yeah, he's just hiding.
Okay.
I'm gonna double left.
Yeah, we're doubling.
Get pins blue, bro. Get pins blue.
Top rocket dead.
Top.
He low.
Got one's already army, boys. Already army.
Oh, he lost.
All good, all good, all
He's
good.
a B2.
B2 one
I'll
like
sign
this.
Okay, he's gonna take it. We spawn up. I'm gonna kill this guy.
Get together.
Okay, I'll put.
Okay, top, bro.
We gotta meet it. I'm one HP. Okay, I'm taking my time. I'm one shot.
Play kill.
One
In
ticket.
ticket. In ticket.
Alright, I'm one.
Kids is pinching our phone blue.
I hear you.
You on top, I got him.
Yo, top broken.
Listen, one
I'm
ticket.
getting hill, I'm getting hill. You have hill?
I got time.
He's in
I take it, I take it.
I just. I'm
Mid-time.
I bus cross.
I take it, I take it.
They're bus.
I'll see him take it, I'm holding ticket.
One playing pin.
One guy hit Tyler weak.
I hear.
I have my left down. They can hit right at me. I have your left. I
I
have
send
your
him
bus.
go.
Yo, right at me.
Could be peak.
Get left.
Could be
Alright.
bus.
Low right, boys. Low right. Pinching army fast.
Alright.
He's dead.
Heads up.
Left ticket.
Let the bus me, bro.
Guys, foot.
Kids, left side ticket.
Stay down.
One shot flinch, MC.
Hit a ticket. Hey, I'm dead. Ticket kids, man.
That's not good. I'm pitching.
On time. On time. One
They know
ticket.
I'm pitching.
We can double pitch.
AG on high, one's in
Right.
ticket. Fuck, I'm
Need
not
tickets,
pitching
probably.
anymore.
Okay, I'm going guy heady, bro. I'm a guy heady, maybe.
Yeah, one's probably, yeah.
Right. I can 8 time.
One both.
That's bang.
AG on time. AG on time. One shot. Two on
Okay,
time.
ticket.
Dead. One more AG.
AG on time.
Army.
Alright,
on time.
last year.
AG on time.
One
AG
army.
still buff. AG dead.
Army dead.
I have the cut. Get the minute.
Yeah, top blue, top blue.
Double wing,
I have the
double.
cut.
I'm blocking.
Get down.
Good
Get down.
time.
Yeah.
I'm
blocking.
I'm holding
RDZ,
ticket.
I think. Ken.
I have it. Sit me.
Holding ticket.
I see.
Top blue dead. All right, one more low. Low heady.
I'm pitching this side.
Nice low heady.
One shot set.
Last
AG.
I got one.
Hey, let's get on.
And on
On
time.
time,
The fucking guy.
Damn it.
Hey, we smoke cooks. Take your time. Tyler, take your time.
Yeah, man. Back
Nade low.
AG back post, one's got
He's
hit.
go 3. On that time.
He's a figment.
I meant top left on us.
Can't do
Alright,
anything.
close time makes it.
Back got heady, back got
Stop
heady.
Z kids. Stop Z kids.
Back got heady going buff.
Need it.
Going bust.
I'm on it.
Might be child our corner.
Yeah, it could be pink.
No, one top.
Damn.
Paint me
I
right
can
now.
tell it. Can paint with me?
Let's P1 on it. AG, shit, one shot P1. One shot P1. One shot P1 too. Yeah, one P1 absolutely. I spawn behind us.
Paco, take his arm. Somebody go.
Minus blue. One blue, one mid ticket was.
I'll take it.
I'll see this guy all the way. And ticket irony.
That's one blue, guys.
Alright, top broken and one's mid cut, bro.
Yeah, one's in blue, or one's in ticket too. I spawn all that.
Knew that. I knew
Two that, two that, two that.
Alright, let's go.
I'm pitching bow, I'm pitching bow. They're spawning got heady.
I'll fold dead.
I got time.
Let them spawn there, bro. Let them spawn broken.
Yeah, they're spawning broken. They're spawning broken.
I have all the middle.
What's not broken? I'm dead. Stop broken.
Got heady.
P5 dead.
Got heady late.
Top dead.
I got heady late. Got heady late. We're meant to MC.
Yeah, I'm helping him.
I have our defense, bro. I have our defense.
Close them.
Dead. One more stuck.
I need to make I need to pick up for you.
I'm nading top right.
I've
Hop up.
Look, P1 on me, P1. I think there's 2 pins.
Make up.
I'm hopping up.
Army, I'm in.
I'll see him army.
What's P5?
Army dead. One more
Make
army.
one shot. Make one
I
shot.
got these.
And
Army,
then
I want.
P5 is one shot. And then mid cut. Mid cut after that. Make it play.
I'm looking play. Keep me mid.
I'll see him on the plane.
Come in mid.
You
Yeah,
pick
one
up,
shot.
pick up.
Defense, defense.
Oh, I can kill him.
Last guy low right. Nice, hit up.
AG on top.
Yeah, I'm helping time.
Alright, 18, one shot time. AG.
That's fine.
Alright, miss MC and AG.
AG still on time.
AG don't know, miss MC.
AG dead on
Mid cut dead.
one shot.
All load.
Low right, low right, low right,
Yo,
low
make
right.
a flying the ticket to mid.
MC's low right.
Ticket to mid last one.
Last one. I have all.
Keep your keep already. I think
Yeah, look, he could be.
AG and X.
Watch here, bro.
Don't hold.
Pinch.
Exit.
Hey, top blue.
Nah,
That's
top
He's
blue.
going blue to the back. Going
He's still top blue.
left.
X's just staying top blue.
Okay, 2P5.
This guy's
okay,
I'm just getting
AG
time.
AG to the right.
In the back of me dead.
Left me.
I'm on the top. Top.
Weak. Back right army.
One stop on me.
One army, one top.
One stop.
That's
Nice.
it.
Man, I'm living.
Double P1.
I'm one MP. They're mid on me, bro. I can't challenge. They can go mill.
Mail.
Maybe top.
Mail that.
Nice, I milled him.
Top.
Two left, Joe.
I'm bumping top.
Yeah, I'm top.
Nice.
All mid cut, bro.
I'm just holding time.
I'm all up cut. They gotta be all mid cut.
Don't say anything mid.
Yeah, all mid cut
Mid right now. Dead. Mid right now.
I'm
On
in
the
the
buff.
corner.
On the
Alright,
buff.
they're all going mid.
On the buff. 1P1.
I can help you out. I have all
Oh, bro.
Where'd he go?
Okay, sure. I'm
P1 one shot, one bow.
Top.
Alright, and then P1.
I'm leaving that guy.
In the row.
He can
In
hit
the row.
him. That's fine. Let me look that.
Nice, shit up.
I'm absolutely. Let's go.
Yo, funny out.
It's taking the shit on.
It's AG
Top broken. Shit on. Let's go.
Exit on me.
She's small.
Get some.
I'm blocking.
I'm staying out. I'm staying out.
There you go.
One ticket.
I got nailed on time. I got nailed on
Top
time.
left dead.
Alright, so give me a minute.
It can be
Alright, AGP1. Missing one. AGP1. I'll get right on.
Mid
Laying
dead.
down.
Well, running up
He's
broken.
going broken deep.
I'm staying down on time. You're playing already.
He's gonna be top broken.
I have it.
He's spawning me. He's
And low trench. Low trench.
What's your shot?
Exit.
One more, make that.
First need of the name of the game there, Jay, but how about this Steve's little battle back as we get tight to a really tight finish?
Oh yeah, these have been outstanding in these last couple of hard points. That listening was so damn long, and that's why the score has been so damn long of a comeback. It's been the P3 to P4, now to the P5 chain. Falcons could not find their way in towards blue. And now they only need 35 seconds to close out this game. Everyone's spawning towards the backside of Broken. A BZ flying on in, only able to take down one and his teammate. Team kills are not going to assist, but these are still holding as much as they can.
The best they possibly can. 2 to 206. Falcons now in a position to get some possible early time at 1. Just kills that they need. Up big win for the Thieves. Battle back now starting to make their way over towards P1 are the Thieves though.
Big win
inside. Good opening win there versus Hydra. Does he get more than that? No, not the case. The Scrap responds, but trades go back and forth. Pinstripe kill feed. We have a contested hard point.
And they're consistently going to spawn over towards mid-cut, so just get this pressure off of Celium. And again, the team kill this time from Kismet. The double nade is not going to be the assistance. Now he's the last man standing. The pressure's going to be here for Thieves. And they technically have the rotation that they want as well, because now you can open up lanes to set up these pinches, but they're not finding any kills. Xnet is dominating with that AR. Falcons have found something, running 4 M15s on this map. Now they're in the lead, only needing 26 to close out.
Spawns move though. Spawns move. And even though the Falcons are going to get this scrap time, Thieves will have a couple of members over the top of stops and of course over towards the motel entryway. First kill able to be traded, and Scrap's able to take down 2. 226, 222. Thieves are in, and you got to wait for a moment for the Falcons to come off spawn.
You just got to hold. You got to now bank on this player working on the pinch. He's able to spawn Kismet also on that angle, so he's able to find an opening double. There's pressure from both angles. Scrap has to get some done. On 4 in a row. Can he take care of Selling? No, he cannot. And now Falcons just need one wave of kills, and this map 1 is theirs.
Decent spawns though for Thieves. Proximally they can get back to try to contest this, but they're waiting for a little bit of a pinch for BZ. Pred trying to watch it. Good shot, shakes him off the heady. Now you go back to the hard point. Xnet almost able to take everything, but Cell and Kismet right behind the play reinforced. Last 3 seconds, last man dash for the Thieves. Do they get here to touch in time? No, and it's the Falcons to stave off the heroic effort from the Thieves to take the opener.
Hey, they said, man, we just played potentially the best teams on this map. We know what we did wrong. Let's run it back and show you the adjustments. And the major adjustment was not getting outslayed by 46 kills. Basically everyone going positive, and the Falcons were able to dominate that P2 motel hardpoint from start to finish of that game. There's just too much to handle right there for Thieves. When you have a BZ trying to commit on the Dravev, using that SMG, all those gunfights are long distance. Xnet was able to pick him off. Kismet was able to do the same thing. And then when it came down to that final push, the route that was developed on Xnet to push through plain side to allow Kismet to spawn on the backside of blue, which leads to the opening double, that is a heads-up play that we were not seeing that young man make last year. Riyadh Falcons give us a barn burner in map number 1, and they take the opening HP.
To all of the off-season conversations, whether you're listening to the Flake or you're listening to whoever happened about how the rosters were moving, and of course the groundbreaking and historic nature of what the Falcons did to this roster from last year starting things off to now bringing in one of the historically best ARs in the at least current form of the CDL with Cell. But it's Xnet that was the question mark the entire time through. We saw that he had capabilities. We saw that he's not just hanging, he can have a chance to really take over. And how about the fact that he did it not just at the beginning of this game, but did it from start to finish? 28 non-traded, and of course, like you mentioned, the heads up, more veteran style play to move the spawns around when it mattered most.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, even when we went to a listening with them, he was basically leading in the communication as well. This guy is hitting new levels every time he's able to spawn on in. And now with these players sitting side by side, he's going to grow only faster in his progression, man. And at least for him, he was able to show it in that map number 1. Got to be feeling good if you're the Falcons, because you got steamrolled in your last matchup, but to go potentially up against the second best team that we currently have in the league and make easy work of them in that opening map where you were going blow for blow. You didn't have an answer at the P4. You were making it mixy at the P5, but P2 was their go-to, even not holding it from the preferred side. It's just great plays, and it's definitely showed the teamwork development aspect on the side for the Falcons.
Yeah, you can see again that comeback effort when it was 119 to 179 for the Thieves, stringing together and snowballing the map like you called, and you heard it through that listen in how exactly they were going about doing that, talking about let's let them spawn here, and then trying to find ways to flip and move things around. Again, thinking about that macro game, allow back in, like you mentioned, that 4 AR meta that we saw from Falcons there in Scott. far. A little bit too much to over and get too destroyed. If you missed the pregame preamble, this is again a bit of a run back here for the Riyadh Falcons. Played it against Optic. It went 10 rounds, and honestly, I thought the Falcons actually played the search pretty competitively. Just a couple things got out of hand, and honestly, just the clutch ability of Optic was too strong out there.
Yeah, thankfully they also had a Pred, because Pred single-handedly was able to win them a couple rounds in that search and destroy by popping 2Ps after 2Ps, just finding openings. But unfortunately, the ending result wasn't a W. But just like in map number 1, you came out lackluster versus Optic. You made adjustments. You got the W this time. I'm curious to see what they're able to do on Den Search and Destroy now, knowing what they know and the angles that you were able to develop over the last couple of days, because we know the Bulldog, especially with that boomstick in hand, he can make plays. But one thing that was scary about with Kismet running that sniper in hand is that the objective focus wasn't really there. The hesitation was there for Falcons in their S&D gameplay, and if he's gonna run that sniper, pretty sure Chance said it, someone else has got to start thinking about that, OBJ, because he's Mr. Playmaker, but he can't do it with a one-shot gun in his hand.
And it's interesting, I think, just to see how the dynamic of search is going to change this year with the sniper rifle in play. Of course, the kind of player agreed upon stipulations and rules around it also make for a very interesting, I think, as the search gets deeper, you know, past round 9-10, when you don't have the opportunity to still use the sniper rifle.
Now, if you are Scrap, starting off 0-1 in this series, you're thinking, all right, you relax lesser than that map number 1. Gonna have to try to figure out going into the search and destroy. You got the king of the first flood historically in the BZ and Hydra. That SMG drill can cause so many problems. We saw what they were able to do in their last matchup versus FaZe, slowly pick them apart, really isolate that sniper, not allow him to be impactful. And that's one thing that you have to think about if you're Kismet, because if you decide to pull out the sniper early into these rounds and potentially put yourself in a 1v4, they chase you down and you give up your life for free, you only have 2 lives to make plays like that. And we saw it yesterday in the Miami series where Super in a 1v4 died unannounced, and it caught him off guard. But then towards the later of the game, Insight was able to use that sniper and be uncontested with it. So there's a lot of strategies that now go into the search and destroy mode with the 2 life play with the sniper in hand. But I think if you're the Falcons, you're going to be making your adjustments. I'm definitely looking at Pred and Exnet to be the playmakers, Kismet to make the play calls, but this time be a lot quicker on their decision making to potentially try to sneak away a 2-0 lead in this series. Now, when we take a look at the maps and modes, again for these 2 lineups, it's the same 3 maps that Falcons ran up against versus Optic. They were able to make their adjustments on map number 1, got a Den Search and Destroy map number 2, and then a Den Overload in map number 3. I feel like Overload, for all these teams, whenever you get to that swing mode, like it was Control, like it used to be CTF, whatever the hell it is, like this is what makes the best teams in the game. When you can start off early on showing that you've been putting in work and you can get ahead when you talk about the new game. So whenever we get there, I'm excited to see what adjustments Falcons made this time around. But the search and destroy, this has got me highlighted. I'm super excited to see snipers on both sides. We know what Scrap is able to do. We know what Kenny is able to do. But on a map like Den, where smokes are going to be impactful, you got to be ready for the aggressive plays over towards that B site. Just don't get caught isolated with that sniper, and you should have a good time. Oh, okay, welcome back, Alan. You here?
I think I'm back, brother.
All right, buddy.
Can you hear me okay, Jay? That's all I need to know right now.
Yes, I can.
All right.
Yes, I can. I can hear you, pal.
Sorry, friends and family. A little bit of technical issues on my side, but I think we are good and ready to go now, fully, hopefully, because wow, that opening hard point has me gassed and jazzed and ready to go. So I don't want to be missed from any of the rest of this stuff. All the conversation points, though, surrounding kind of the themes of the early search and destroy are, again, I think really important, especially when you look at the teams that have been successful, not just in the preseason events, but especially over the course of this weekend. There are a couple of those key identifiers that are really coming in, like every single map, no matter where we find ourselves, no matter what teams we're talking about. The teams that are doing the best search and destroy right now, it feels like they do have like a really good calm setup strategy. They're very versatile. They're finding ways to, again, play off of different power things, whether it is like having a sniper rifle out, or we even saw yesterday that 4-man hit down the middle of the map at Raid just to try to find something new and different when you don't have and a sniper rifle available. So there's a lot of options, and I think teams are starting to find what their identities are going to look like based on which options they prefer. It's really the long way of saying it.
Yeah, and I feel like for Search or Destroy, it's usually about early dictating the game. And for a team like these who can be the aggressors on the map with Hydra and Abizi, you can shut down early snipers and force them to completely change their game plan. And then you have everything that you want in front of you. It's just usually about that early start off. You don't have trophy sims early on. You got to make sure you're setting up your crossfires and simply not scamming. Like, that's the biggest thing in this game. Giving up a first blood on one side of the map, I know you can make up a lot of ground with the movement, but it's just very difficult to retake some of these sites. So you got to buy your life a little bit extra.
Yeah. And with that, I think, you know, you also have a lot of rookies where we're seeing some of that scamming coming through. Other things that we're seeing, how about these league packs and all these skins that we've seen so far? Take a little bit of futuristic approach with Treyarch. They're going to give you something special. And that's been exactly the case. And if you have not gotten your 2026 league pack yet, make sure you do so, because it's not just the operators that you see on screen, but you also, of course, get the animated calling cards. You get the weapon camos, which are unbelievable. And of course, extra stickers and sprays, which, you know, if you're feeling like one of those guys that gets that BM attitude and ranked, you're getting ready to go for that, you want to get that nice try spray. So why not load yourself up, scan the QR code now, and get yourself ready to rep the CDL throughout what very well may be one of the most historic seasons that we've had in the history of the CDL. So pumped about it.
I'm with it.
Search coming up again. It's the run back, so that's kind of the story when we talk about the Falcons in particular. When you look at Thieves, though, and I know you kind of mentioned a couple players by name and some things individually, where do you kind of put them, like, in your mind off of what we've seen in their preseason or in their opening match versus FaZe, like in terms of where their strength in Search is? You know, do you rate them as like an S tier type Search team? Like, I think on roster you would assume that would be one of their stronger game modes, but what are your early evaluations of Thieves kind of more in particular?
S tier is just like basically playing perfect, and I don't think you can play perfect unless you develop early chemistry. You got two new players into the mix and two different play styles, with Abizi playing as fast as Hydra does, even though it's not as playmaking as Hydra does it. He's the guy that's going to firstly go in. So those strats take time to develop, and even though you have some of the best players in the world sitting side by side, just certain things work. You have to figure out what works for you. So between Hydra and Abizi, you got to figure out which is going to be Mr. First Blood, or how aggressive you need to be in certain cases. So I feel like they're around A tier and have time to eventually turn into S.
Well, I like the call, and now we have a second opportunity here to see what the Thieves will offer, as the Falcons have a second chance to try to really master out this den search and destroy. And off the bat, it looks like Scrap was taking the sniper rifle towards the outside awnings of A. Everyone else for Thieves is playing the middle of the map, though. A couple of defensive nades trying to stop any early plants, but the threat is more so over through the site, as it looks like Falcons may want to try to put a little bit extra pressure onto Scrap to see if he hits a shot or not.
Yeah, and they're going to put this bomb down, not going to hesitate to get the objective planted, but the nade comes in at the right time to take care of Xnid. Scrap over the top with the frag, leads to the first blood, and look instantly what Thieves are doing. Gonna rally everyone through Dojo's side. Let's push out with our numbers, 4v2.
Yeah, Fred just gets caught. Just too many players to deal with. What a counterattack from the Thieves. Not often you can get super jazzed up and excited about a round one setup, but that was picture perfect in terms of adapting an A setup through mid, get the overnade, find a way to have a smoke hard hit to clear the front of the site. I mean, that is chef's kiss perfect.
Yeah, it was a complete blind counter there from Falcons. Like, you get over towards B, no one's there to contest you. You take Dojo's side away. It's just like that split second of them not committing on the bomb plan early allows them to get the information through mid-statue and set up Scrap, which would had to be an insane nade from the backside of Dojo through the top windows to find that first blood. And then the teamwork shows there. Regroup towards Dojo, close out the round with ease. So Thieves take round number one. Now it's their turn to show some pressure on their attack, and they're just going for the default spread map setup to see what Falcons are going to throw at them.
And Falcons are opting to really not throw anything besides shoulders, and X did a little too greedy on the visual check down A. Does get connected onto first blood. So now Scrap going to rotate back over towards the B site. Falcons are going to lean for an A defense, but this bomb wrap is going to have a wide open 4v3 post plant.
Yeah, this is just way too easy of a call if you are the Thieves. If you're Falcons, you're thinking, all right, our teammate gets sniped at A, everyone's got to rotate back, but now you're completely out of the play in a man-down situation. Abizi in a very good spot to watch all of mid hop up. Flank is being covered. Falcons need someone to open it with a nade or double to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, but the post plant can just back off of this, because if it starts to get mixy, Abizi can just hit a pinch, and he's on the route now that Scrap has read. The Falcons are here. So now you just back off. Try to see if you can find that timing from Abizi. Still waiting, as the bomb site has not been threatened yet by this retake. Kenny for the first. Kismet connects though, takes down the snipe, but here's Abizi off the flank, and there's just nowhere to go. 2 back-to-back rounds for the Thieves, both very comfortable.
Yeah, off the back of the first blood. This time it's just easy. Perfect play call. All right, spread map. Someone shows face at A. As soon as you get that first blood, you instantly hit the rotation towards B, and it's uncontested. Get the bomb planted, hold your side, set up a BZ for the late pinch. 2 quick rounds there for Thieves. Looking easy.
Yeah, that's picture perfect though, legitimately. Just by design and execution, that is exactly how it's drawn up. Beautiful stuff. So now the onus goes over to the Falcons. How do you respond here in this second offensive effort? Do you just kind of go back to what you knew, and then, well, no, they're going to try to contest the middle of the map this time. A couple of nades go over towards the Thieves side, but it's Kenny with a little bit of help, I believe, from Scrap to get that first blood again. So Celium's out of the picture, and now all of a sudden you have to see who's going to step up, try to force things. And Exton took a look at B, but with an AR in hand, he's got to wait for help, and it's going to come by way of Kismet on the rotation from mid.
Yeah, now Exton might not check the corner. Kenny's going to be able to spot him, but the trigger discipline is not going to lead to a kill. The stun is going to connect, knock down to 34 HP in a dream, and eventually the wall bangs are good enough to take care of Exton.
Oh.
Now Pred has one isolated, makes it a 2v2. Kismet can't get out. Now it's all up to Pred for a 1v2.
Yeah, and Thieves, I believe, will know that the bomb is down here over towards B. You just would not anticipate that Pred is the player carrying the objective in that part of the map, considering where the hit was at. So now it's up to Pred to try to isolate. He's able to get a couple of tags onto Kenny, but the smoke will come through. Kenny will back off, and things will reset. Oh, careful, tiptoeing on the side of the map, but not going to make a difference. He's going to fall regardless, as the shots over the cross at B cut really, really clean, and that's a 3-0 start for Thieves. That, yeah, Kenny is loving it.
Yeah, Thieves just have a default setup so far, Alan. Let's just take mid-map away from them. That's the first round. It worked. You were able to get the info, shut them down at B. This time they try to contest you, and you get the first blood and force them to slow down on their offensive approach. Falcons have to find a way on in, and mid-map so far has not been the answer. They were able to execute, at least in the first round, 4 towards B, be uncontested, but just could not get that objective down. Now we're getting later into these rounds. Some trophy systems starting to develop.
Yep.
You got to make some adjustments, but you need this round here if you're Falcons.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they're going to go to something very similar to the first round, except that Exton is actually going to play a little bit further up on the rooftops over at A. Shots from Hydra at mid. Smoke also enveloping that cross. As Scrap will put a little bit of shots down over towards the defensive spawn. So the bomb will be planted behind all that action, but meanwhile, first blood collected for Falcons, and they're trying to go quickly for this retake. But the problem is Hydra's the one responsible for the flank, and he's in a really good spot to stop it.
Yeah, Hydra's on the flank, but Scrap's going to have his hands full on the other side. 3 players from Falcons attacking through Dojo, and the nade is able to connect, but Scrap, is he going to get any info? He does not. 2v2, 25.
Kenny stepping up on 5 in a row. Gonna get an angle. A couple of hit markers come through, but Cell still wins the battle. Traded by Hydra, and he's able to find the second in front of him. Oh, that one got a little mixy. Falcons with the numbers advantage. They put the pressure across the map, but they cannot get through the superstar player up front.
Yeah, that's ideal, like how you want to try to retake that site. You give up the B-bomb for free. Okay, you get the first blood on the island player to now set up pressure from every single angle. It's just the 2 players who are watching those angles, one-on-one gunfights, are able to force it into a 2v2 and then set up Hydra in the perfect position to close out the round. These can currently do no wrong. And the Falcons have not yet had an answer here in the search and destroy. Just giving up a lot of map control early. They need to play for some early information before they try to commit on something, because these are just picking them apart.
Now we got early nades for Thieves. We talked about that trophy system being earned here in this next offensive attempt for Falcons. They go back to what they essentially tried to do round 1, but Thieves changed the timing of their nades, and you're actually going to commit Abizi to playing in and on towards this site. Needs help though, and it's all coming from Dojo side. All the Thieves.
Oh man,
counter smoke, trying to challenge this bomb plant, but there is enough resistance here for things to try to fade away, dissipate, and we're still looking for a first blood, all things told.
And Scrap has a sniper in hand, but Kenny's able to find it somehow, some way through the smoke. Exton and Celium though with the wall bangs give them still the advantage. Again, information is still pressure on this side of the map. Exton trying to close that gap, but Abeezy's able to get one and get out. 2v2.
Unbelievable from Abeezy right there. And I will say for the Falcons, they're at least attempted the adjustments. It's just, this is, big boy football right now. We're just in the trenches. Kenny over the top, able to find a couple tags onto Pred.
Stalling time.
Trying to challenge the bomb plan as the clock is ticking. All meanwhile, while this is happening, Abeezy's also been red on the pinch. And it looks like the Falcons may want to try to shell Kenny out using the heady from mid. They are, but now you got to go back over to the bomb. Abeezy catches one on the return. Now it's to the 1v1. Pred has to stick for the plant, trying to commit for it. Abeezy challenging. Shots are in. Abeezy with the clutch, and Thieves stay flawless.
Man, oh man, Abeezy can't keep getting away with this. The fact that he was isolated on the backside of Dojo, even with all that pressure on him, he lives in the chaos. Is able to get one, get out of dodge, hit the reset. And his teammate sets him up for the final two in the 1v2. He's just surrounded by players. Knocked down to 3 HP, able to get out of dodge. Cellium going to be weak by Kenny, so it's an instant trade. But then you have to commit on the bomb plan if you're the Falcons because you simply have no more time left. And Abeezy's just able to get it done there for the Thieves to now be flawless in the game and almost close it out to 6-0. Just need one more.
We're throwing a wrench here if you're the Falcons. It is everyone hopping over and challenging out Scrap, who will fall. Kenny going to get the read that was a heavy-handed approach for the Falcons, so the Thieves will take a moment to back off. But on the same front, Hydra was already playing far enough towards B and says, okay, I'll go ahead and plant and give the Thieves an opportunity for a 3v4 on their terms.
Yeah, because now you're setting up Kenny on this late pitch, and he also in the back pocket has a Hellstorm, so...
Unreal.
30 seconds to go. Kenny's able to win the one-on-one gunfight. Now he can just call in the missile and call the game.
That's exactly the call. Hydra's going to back off. He'll be the first line of defense. If there is information that someone's on for a defuse, the Hellstorm coming through just to delay the clock. It'll get down to about 12 seconds. No one will fall off the score streak. First contact though for Abeezy. That works out well for 4 in a row. Kenny caught at mid, but again, the clock has already expired on a chance to defend or defuse, and it'll be a perfect 6-0 for the LA Thieves.
Yeah, you can see Scrap's face. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I just played. A clean 6-0, way too easy of a search to destroy. You found way too much success in the first blood category. Every time they try to throw a wrench into the setup, you were able to break them down with ease. And even though Falcons just played this map a couple days ago and had a better performance there, the adjustments showed nothing. They get 6-0 to map number 2, and Thieves tie up the series.
I think the thing though, Jay, and I'm going to go into this a little bit, and for all of you search nerds that are out there who are really digging into the minimap, like the Falcons were not just like getting outplayed necessarily. They're obviously behind in terms of like how the map started, but round 3, round 4, we talk about those counter nades from Thieves on the defense. Falcons say, okay, we don't want them to throw those through mid, so we change up our offensive strategy. It is the right response. It's just they don't get the kills they need. Then when you get the trophy system on your next offense, you drop it down in. You're assuming you can do your round 1 setup again. But Thieves change the timing of their nades and forces a contest issue that, again, Falcons just don't get that extra kill that they need. And then, of course, you also have the highlight spotlight of just individuals who pop off. I mean, Kenny has a great map. Abeezy, of course, he gets that 3-kill round where he gets the 1v2 at the end. It's just the little things there. Like, that's a 6-0 search, but like, I think honestly, Falcons were trying playbook wise to counter what they were facing. They just weren't able to collect the kills they needed to actually get it over the finish line.
Yeah, that's all it comes down to. Sometimes you try your best to make your adjustments, but sometimes those adjustments still don't lead to W's, and that's because sometimes things don't go your way. And based off the first round, like you take B-side away from them, you're forcing them to play through mid, you gain the early information, you try to get the objective down, and Scrap just throws a random frag through the top window. That just means it wasn't your map to win, so just got to shake that one off. Now go into a replay on the Den Overload, where you just played a couple days ago, and hope for a different result this time around.
1-1 map count. Things are stabilizing, not just in the series, but also here in the studio. We'll head back down over the couch with Puckett and the rest of the game to get in their thoughts.
Thank you, gentlemen. Great opening half. And after 2 games on my scoreboard, it's 250 objective points to 242 objective points. It's a very even fight, right, Nameless?
Yeah, it's a very even fight. And you heard the boys' discussion about that search and destroy. And for the Falcons, I mean, the Falcons just had no map control. And talking about adjustments, I mean, early on, like their early strategy, just sent an X kind of on dummy missions over by the B site is just not going to work. He's by himself. Later on, you see them trying to group up, play together. And even then, we're just standing in smoke. Like, we got to try to make some plays together and push them out.
We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, can we visit the good game? Because we opened up with a banger. I asked, show me the game one highlights first, because the Falcons, it looked like they blew their opportunity to seal the deal. And then they were actually able to clutch up and land with an opening W.
Listen, this was Exnid's game. This was his map. He was unbelievable right off the start. I literally have it that Exnid woke up and decided that he was him today in this map number one. Not only in the kills column, but in just some of the plays that he was making on the map too. He was making it so much easier for the rest of his team. This is the Riyadh Falcons we expected when we saw a roster like this.
Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful, right? Like, these guys in the latter half of this game, I mean, we're on the P1, and Kismet's just finessing his life left and right. And when we talk about teamwork, it's not just like, oh, let me rotate early, set up, and get my team spawns. Teamwork is like it's fine communication in the moment. Kismet repositions to the other side of the tank, exit off the spawn, finds 2 kills, and then in a gotta have it moment when you need to make a play, the reason Kismet is even in this position is Exit goes through mid, flanks around Delhi, and the LA Thieves players, they are clueless. They don't know what's going on. They don't know that somebody can spawn behind them. Nobody's even ready for it, right? So just an error in strategy by LA Thieves, not exactly where players can be.
Clutch rotation by Exnid.
And Exnid also making the massive cerebral play to get his team the pinch. What a play.
Brains from the second-year player. When we go to search and destroy, it looked like it was just first bloods that set the tone. The sniper was bigger on the side of LA Thieves.
Falcons were just giving up too much info in the early rounds, and unfortunately, I mean, you give Scrap a couple of these first bloods, and on the side of Falcons, like, it felt like they were playing their game instead of trying to play to what LA Thieves were doing. They were having way too much presence on the top side of the map, giving B site completely for free, allowing LA Thieves to get that bomb down, and you saw their post plant. Those numbers are probably insane on the back end. They were not losing these rounds.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've played this map a ton, and like when you're getting beat, particularly like at B side, is when like, okay, we got to get creative and send some misdirection. Like maybe make them wrap over towards B, take a little bit space A. There has to be threats elsewhere on the map, and the Falcons just haven't cracked that yet. They haven't found their comfortability in like, yo, let's go send Pred on an island, let him play by himself. Let's take space, but stay alive while he's doing that. We've seen the rest of the teams in the league be able to do that so far. The top teams are winning. We have Falcons just a little behind.
Everybody finding success from LA Thieves in that search and destroy. They are going into halftime with all smiles. But if you're looking at the numbers, and Allie, I know you're great at crunching these things. A lot of the haters would say the weak players on the team are in a surprise position. They are leading the squad. Exnid is the one without a world championship for the Falcons. On the other side, Kenny was the big question mark after a rough season last year.
Listen, we saw it last year. Exnid was putting up some crazy numbers in some of the series that we saw. It's just about finding the consistency and where he slots on this team. And on the flip side, I mean, that's a world champion in Kenny. His ceiling is incredibly high alongside the rest of the league. It's just we've seen his floor a little bit a lot recently. So it's him finding the balance.
Through 5 maps, through the 5 maps so far, Kenny's been sensational.
Yes, he's been great.
Keep this up.
Call it out. What else has been sensational is game number 3s. We've had overloads that have blown our mind, and the rest of the Call of Duty universe is starting to know how awesome this game mode is. Let's take a look at the reactions to the overtime featuring LA Thieves in Vegas.
Oh my God. Go, 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 go. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God! It's around the net. Wait, we can score for free. Let's go! Take the
What just happened?
Wait, what? Why did BZ just do that?
Dude.
Overload's the greatest mode in Call of Duty history. Overload's the greatest game mode in Call of Duty history.
Well, the opinions are steep on it. I know, man. We have gotten some unbelievable showcases of Overload to this point. We've had major blowouts. We've also had nail biters that just have everyone on the edge of the seat. And very well might be the case for this one. It's hard to say, right? I mean, it's still early. Everyone's still trying to figure things out, especially with the recent changes. So, you know, Jay, kind of give me your thoughts on the mode and not even just the reactions that we just saw reactions of, you know, from yesterday.
I love the mode. Like Overload in the beginning, I thought I was a little bit like hesitant on it, but then I got to play in it a little bit, and it's just exciting at every single moment. It doesn't matter what the score is. Obviously, if it's mathematically impossible, you're not gonna have fun, but just the non-stop action aspect in this game mode is super fun to watch. You know, there's obviously 3 EMP objective spawns all across that 50-yard line, 2 points where you want to capture either side of the map. You have a preferred side that you want to capture on, but if you're dominating the slaying, then you can capture on whichever one that you want. So tied 1-1 into this series. Falcons got steamrolled last time. Let's see the adjustments this time around.
Yep, that's been the name of the game with this series. It's the same 3 maps that they played on Friday versus Optic. So there is a direct correlation and comparison ability as Hydra's going to kind of slip the net here, but it's red. Oh, or is it? Cell gets not necessarily full turned on, but blown out of the sky. And in that, there's an opportunity for Kenny to turn that to a quick score. Not the case. Cell comes off spawn, stabilizes, scrap will drop, and there's a chance here to at least play a little bit of extra defense as the EMP is still down and, well, almost in, but no. There will be no detonation on A, and we'll finally get a moment to breathe here if you're the Falcons.
Oh man, these thought that they had a freebie, especially when Hydra finds that opening kill. There was no one contesting him after he finds that second one, but just the perfect play there from Xnid to still be in the mix. Saves a goal coming in. Now the pressure from the Falcons over towards the Palace side at Broken. Preds is camping the corner, but he's gonna get sniffed on now, and now it's Steve's turn to go forward.
Yeah, the problem is you have to go forward towards the A side, but wait a second, the Falcons are really far apart from this. Pred's got to get the shots lined up. There's a blocker in front. Oh! Pred's able to find not just 2, but 3. Hydra trying to force it forward, but Celium is back into the mix and is able to stabilize again. Whoa, okay, so it may not be overtime, but it's getting hot early as we jump over to see how the Thieves are feeling.
One left.
What couches I think?
Okay,
I'll see him couches.
Maybe I did.
They're running.
Yo, one mid cut went in. I don't know. Like, mid cut, close dojo, close dojo.
I'm just banging.
I have gold. Arches. Has to be Arches.
Arches, exit.
Get it down right. Yeah.
Exit Arches.
Oh my God, I got it. Nice one.
I got nade.
I got it. Okay, tell me.
Holy fuck, I got detonated.
Money,
You gotta live, Ernie. You gotta live. We're gonna get to you. Just hold. I ran there. One close, actually.
Out on me.
I ran
Nice.
there. Nice.
I'm getting ball.
Arches broken.
You should bang.
Arches is broken.
What's that?
Watch out.
Which place is
Take
it?
right, yeah.
Take it down. Back. Kid, dead.
Nice, I'm trying.
Let's go. Exit on the side.
Exit, we got him twice.
Nice, bro. Just play kills. We can get to you, Ernie. Take it down.
I'm here, on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Backside, 2 of them, both weak.
They're probably gonna grab it. I hear you.
I'm in P2. I'm from P2 in the corner.
They're not grabbing. I'm playing for it. They didn't grab. One's on P2. 2 P2. Alright, kids are still in P2. They're late.
Right side mid.
P2.
AG.
Last guy going P2 to like, I don't know what he's doing.
He's still in P2. Still P2.
Still there.
AG P2, bros. They're all P2. I found him hard. P2. Nate this guy. And P2.
I'm nading. I'm nading.
P2 one shot. AG and P2.
Couple of fun one-liners in there. Kenny saying, let's just bang. I don't even know what this guy's doing. Awesome stuff from the Thieves. Near scores a couple times through, but Falcons, honestly, they're lucky to not be down 4-0 right now.
No, 100%. So many goal line stops. And the only one currently finding success in the slaying department is going to be Preda and Celium. You can't get anything going, but like you said, the only way, I mean, the fact that you're only down by 1 is insanity, but 1:30, and here comes Hydra making the play on the pinch. The opening is now created. Your lead blocker is trying to make an avenue of approach. Can Hydra get anything more done? No, just going to reload in the corner, wait for somebody to scam.
Oh, I love that little pause from the Thieves, trying to put pressure through this front lobby. Trades back and forth, 2v2 situation, but Kenny gets turned around. It's just down to Abizia to pistol out, trying to back up. Values his life, plays it nicely off the reload, finessing, getting some extra space, but he just does not have the help to keep the life going. So we switch to Hydra, try to play her on the backside of this, but the Falcons once again clear the front space and now have a chance to try to push forward over to B, but Hydra in the back line slows it down for at least long enough for the Thieves to come off spawn.
And now the EMP is going to rotate. The X-Nate was able to find a double through the middle of the map. You're trying to push right through the bottom side of Mid Palace. You gotta try to keep your EMP carrier alive, but now all the respawns are there for the Thieves. Pred last man standing. He is also gonna fall. So with 35 seconds to go, you can play keep away, but with all 4 dead, now we can start to push it towards the left side.
Yeah, it's just the Falcons have not been able to get their feet underneath them I mean, a combined 9 and 26 in the first half so far from Exnit and Kismet, as the pace and the tempo for the Thieves continues to push up, but maybe a little bit too much. Abizi set nade, takes down his teammate. That may actually stop this potential final minute score. Yeah, and Abizi just has to back off. Last 12 seconds, Falcons in pursuit. But that is, again, a first half, just looking at the scoreboard, 1-0, but looking at the stat lines, Falcons are sitting here like, I don't know how we're only down 1, but we're happy to see this side switch come through as soon as we get past this little overtime.
Yeah, we got to get through this overtime, and let's see how committed Thieves are towards this overtime push. Everyone are going to work their way through Broken. They got one player in Celium on the pinch, and with them finding the 2, making 3 opening kills, yeah, that's going to be the round over. Falcons, like you said, will absolutely take that, only being down 0-1. Thieves gave themselves a lot of opportunities, but now you can capitalize on their mistakes. With you spawning on the preferred side, you basically want to funnel your way as much as you possibly can with that EMP in towards that B point. And at least the time of possession was dominated there from Thieves. You can't have that on the second half.
No, you absolutely cannot. You can't just keep getting hit in the mouth like that over and over and over again and assume that you're going to be able to come out with this map win. But we look back over some of the moments, and again, heroic, definitely the name of it for the defense. This one in particular from Pred. And a lot of that is Hydra just can't find him. I think Hydra knows he's moving spawns around. There's one left. He just couldn't find Pred until the very last second. So again, lucky to only be down 1. We swap the sides. We go again. EMP in the middle of the map. You've got Kismet watching from the cross over towards the bottom side of the map. Everything else largely focused through mid, except for Pred, who's on a route. Nice timing here from the Bulldog, who gets himself a mini little 1v2 off the site. But Thieves coming off spawn still have some defenders to stop this EMP from being grabbed.
Yeah, you got to take care of Hydra in your spawn. And this game mode might have been just created specifically for Hydra. Value your life, win a one-on-one gunfight, get out of dodge, reset the plays. He wins another one onto MC. And that's now 3 dead in the feed. Hydra is trying to be a nuisance, cause mayhem behind enemy lines. And they are so focused on him. Eventually you take care of him, and that leads to 3 dead. Now you stop the EMP from taking any progression, and now you are in the driver's seat to get a score.
Wait for Kismet, though. He's reading all of this. In terms of where the Thieves are positioned, he is a double agent right now. He is going to look like another Thieves member in the back. What a read. What an unbelievable read. Plus, you also get the bump out from the front. Exted's got nowhere to go. And all of a sudden, it's 4 down, and the Thieves can hit the counter attack as we jump over to another listen in.
I stunned him. Pinching you guys. Dead. Balls around. Weak. Jins, bro. Nice. Come on, back office, low office. I spawned Dojo. Kenny pinching dead. Nothing right. Nothing. Pinching again. One shot of easy pinching. You guys only have one. Chance. Go. Out of easy strap. One's pinching.
Stop shooting me too.
P2 dead. BZ was P2 guys. Kenny. Kenny
Alright, bro.
You want to try?
Yes. I'm in that. Oh, I got it. Alright, wing left. On the right. BZ. Grab a left. He's already short, bro. Scrap. Get to him. He's going in the head. Get to the boat, get to the boat.
Yeah.
I spawned down north. Catch us, Parker.
Come left. Parker's
catches, you heard?
He's short, take me. Dead.
I'm playing short. Short, bro. Scrap.
No, Daddy.
You backed up. One guy's hitting left.
Yeah.
I'm wrapping out.
I got the VZ.
You're on the wrap.
I'm there.
Get right control.
I think one's already here, guys.
They have a bunch of D.
I see. They're going out, They're going out, boys. Going out. Alright, bro. Fuck, man. I love you.
Oh, it's starting to fall apart here a little bit, Jay, and I think you're starting to at least, see where it's gone wrong. It's just so many moments with the Falcons. They're trying to do the next thing. They're trying to get that next layer, but it's just so individual, and they're getting punished right now by the sheer strength of the Thieves playing off of one another.
Yeah, and this is what's scary about this Thieves lineup is that they can play the same exact way, just individually trying to find some success, and that is what's led to the difference in this scoreboard. You got players getting lost in your spawn. Hydra, again, is behind enemy lines, just clearing out lanes for your teammates to run in the score. And you're also not winning those one-on-one gunfights as well, so you're simply getting outslayed, and you cannot afford that in a game mode like Overload. You're already down 5-0. It's 1 minute and 50 left to go with. You basically have to play perfect if you want to try to have a comeback here.
Yeah, it's going to have to be just a convoy of running the EMP in, and just based on how this map has gone so far, I don't think any of us are taking that line. Scrap, nice damage, plus the elimination. EMP will be grabbed once again. Pistol off the bat, cannot keep his feet on the map. Hydra caught a little bit off guard, so an opportunity to kind of swing the EMP over towards this middle battleground, over towards the B point. Kenny in position, deals with one. Response onto the second, and Kenny, like Ant said on the map 2 break, has played extremely well thus far, especially in this series. And that's, I think, rejuvenating to Thieves fans all over.
Oh, yeah. If you're Kenny, you're like, okay, wait, how did I end my season last season? Wait, I'm spawning into next season alongside these guys? Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm going to have a second back-to-back bad year. And so far, just being consistent for this team is all he really needs to do. There's so much firepower. And even with a slow start in the opening HP from Scrap and Hydra, look what they're capable of in the second respawn. Just popping takeover when needed. Still 40 seconds remaining here. The game is already going to be done. Falcons don't have a chance way back on the way back in, but you can gain some momentum. Try to get this score in to give yourself some kind of energy going into map 4. And you can.
Wow. Moving right now. Oh! I mean, again, it's not going to matter to the scheme of the scoreboard, but it does matter to the mental. And you can see that stapled Kenny smile. It's that damn smile. Gets you every time. That's going to be a absolute beatdown here on Dead. Again, a run back in this series for the first 3 maps for Falcons. And I think we can walk away outside of just the Scar hardpoint and say that the adjustments have just not been good enough. Maybe one score will get them on the board, but this was a beatdown from pretty much start to finish for the Thieves.
Yeah, it's just way too easy when you're dominating time of possession of the EMP. Like we're talking about either side. All right, even when we're getting scores in, we have players on the position to contest the new respawn. And every time that Falcons thought that they had to jump on them, there was either a BZ or Hydra working the pinch to find a massive kill or a massive double to shut down that play instantly. Just couldn't find any ground. You couldn't get anything going. Nobody could be in sync there for the Falcons on that overload. You got outslayed to bits. Unfortunately, at least you were able to get that one score at the end, but Thieves dominated on that map 3.
All right, Jay, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat here. You know, put the coaching hat on for a second. You take the color commentator hat off, put the coaching one on. Well, I mean, I would say that, again, Falcons, let's just go and just evaluate that first half. You get these heroic stops to just keep yourself alive. But then, do you feel like they're moving too quickly to try to counterattack when they get those eliminations? Because it never really felt like, as they were able to repossess the EMP, that they were giving themselves legitimate chances to even get across the mid-map, let alone over to the opponent's goals.
It was just hard to get across mid-map. It was not really anything they were doing. It was what Thieves were doing to them. The fact that you're consistently coming off the respawn, having to focus where a BZ and Hydra are, because depending where you spawn, you know someone is potentially going to be behind you. And when you're looking for the guy and losing a one-on-one gunfight, you just can't set up team pushes. So it was relied on a lot of individual play. They could never be fully in sync, never were comfortable as a one unit in that map number 3. And I think that's only going to come with time for them to increase, to get better at this mode, because you have players who can individually slay, but you need to slay in the right positions to open up lanes to lead to those easy scores, or set up these proper pinches to open up lanes for your teammates to find an avenue of approach. Just right now for the Falcons, they haven't put it together yet.
Yeah, it also just kind of feels like maybe this is just a reiteration of what I was trying to say a little bit ago. It's like, at some of those heroic defensive stops, you get 4 down, and I think it's like you can almost feel it. And we didn't get a chance to listen to them in the first half, but in the second half, it's like 4 dead, go, 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 go. But it's like, wait a second, only 2 of us are alive. We still have to get the EMP. We still need to get the power positions back, and you even can see in some of those early replays, it's like a 2v2 away from where your teammates are spawning. It just gets to this staggered level of we're never actually fighting as 4. So maybe there's just a moment in there they need to stop and learn and be like, look, yeah, we had a heroic stop. Yes, we got 4 down, but we need to take a breath and get ourselves set up again before we can actually move across the map. So, I don't know, something to think about. Maybe I'm just over chewing on that, but we do have an exposure hard point to also consider here. And after, again, the comeback effort was stopped just a bit short in map number 1, the Falcons, you know, what do you see out of their hard point in map 1 that could possibly translate here in the map 4? Are you still looking at possible AR flooding, or are you looking for something different?
Well, it doesn't really matter what gun they have. I just think they need to bring that slaying prowess that they had in map number 1, because everyone was basically positive. You had everyone individually making plays off the rotation and were able to set up properly on some of these money hills for full 60s. You're going to need that on a map like Exposure, especially with the recent update that just came in. P4 is no longer going to be in the outskirts, or at least on the bottom side of Ring. There's a brand new building there, so you can get chained very badly from that P3 to P4. So they had rotations on certain hills for that map number 1. You need to have the same exact focus here on map number 4 on Exposure.
Yeah. Well, the confidence is it's coming into play right now for the Thieves, and that's great news because, again, it was a trial to get themselves started off in the preseason. The expectations, of course, are still very high based on how the rosters are put together, and now we're starting to see the reactions come through that we want to, I think, if you're just a general fan of what these personalities have to bring. So that's what we got to look at, what these reactions from the Thieves are currently, you know, how they're feeling, how they're vibing.
My God. I'm just ironed. Grab it.
Oh, no, I'm just getting baited, bro. No!
It reset though.
No.
Well, how about that, Jay? You ever have moments like that when you were a pro player, going through the vibes?
Yeah, especially with like Blitz back when I was a pro player. I'd be like, oh, wait, I'm sneaking by, I got a free one. Wait, hold on, he shot me in the back. That was at the very end of the game as well with that listening for LA Thieves. Kenny's just like, nah, no way we gave up a score. That's supposed to be flawless. But vibes are at an all-time high when you're dominating the game the way that you are.
That's good. Confidence boosting is part of it, but of course, that's just something, the energy that you expect to see, you know, from Kenny when he was, you know, in takeover mode, dominant mode. And when the vibes are high like this team starts to feel, I think, very, very deadly. So see if they can try to keep that momentum up as we head over to the exposure hardpoint. First time that we've seen this for both these two teams. I just think just listening in, we had that longer listen in, you know, due to the internet issue on my side, this listening to the Thieves, even when they're down, like they're still thinking 3-4 steps ahead of what they need to do systematically to get themselves into the best position possible. So I'd be interested to see if they can continue to do that. Here as we jump on over to map number 4, Thieves and Falcons on exposure with some new terrain to take a look at here over the course of the map.
Yeah, Thieves looking to close out this series. Just need one more map to get it done, and already off to a great start is going to be Kismet. Finds a double through bottom dirt. Gonna put himself in towards the HP to try to suck as much time as you possibly can off the P1, but it gets very mixy at this HP. Al, you gotta check every single corner, watch every single crevice, and just when you think you're safe, no, you're instantly gonna get shot in the back. Still 25 seconds remaining.
Nice little moment here, though. Pred on 3 in a row has cleared a lot of space. The problem is none of his teammates have been able to do much with that. So the spree will stop on 4. Still able to get 1 trade, but not enough to keep the Thieves off the hard point. 15 seconds to fight for before we look over towards New, which the Thieves are already making moves towards that top side of the map. Kismet trying to contest and challenge this with help on the way. But is this late rotation going to be punished? It looks like the answer will be no. 3 Falcons here, and maybe Kenny considering a potential pinch behind, depending on how the action over the hard point goes. And no, goes back towards staircase, and eventually the Thieves are overwhelmed with the numbers on the second set.
Yeah, I just trying to stall out time for his teammates to get into the play, but you stall out too much time now for Pred to develop on that pinch. Is able to line up 3 through the mid cut. The break is good for the Falcons, and now Thieves are playing on the back foot. It's so difficult to try to break from this side of Solar, but when you find an opening kill, that's going to make it a whole lot easier. The contest is going to be in. What can Exit get done? Give me kill number 2. That's 3 dead in the feed, and Falcons in full control of the map.
Yeah, Scrap just going back and forth, bouncing off the wall. Stun coming over from the respawns from the Thieves as Celium has to just kind of play a tight quarter. Good for the first, expecting a second challenger, but cannot break the camera of Abizi, who gets the trade needed to get the Thieves back into the hardpoint and take the lead right back in the same breath. Now we start to look with 8 seconds, though. Moving over towards New. It's on to Kenny. He finds a big first elimination here as he tries to flip the spawns around, and he will right before we open up the New Hill.
Yeah, now Celium just needs his teammates to stay alive. Value your life as long as you possibly can. I got your front pinch. Just stacking towards the HP. Keep in mind, it's still very early into this game, so trophy systems are not going to be into play, but Kenny from the back door opens up the first kill onto Pred. You are winning the trade fights. Last man standing. Hydra's on the chase, and that's a great break there from the Thieves with a good chunk of time left.
That is a really big educational last 30 seconds in terms of manipulating the spawns, going from 2 to 3, and then how do you break a hard point where it's no trophies? Do you just use nades? Do you try to jump in with SMGs? Absolutely flawless, but on the counterattack, here come the Falcons. 3 straight eliminations, leaving Kenny by himself. Tries for the hot swap, but only finds the first. Hydra trying to follow up on that damage, is in a position to try to keep contesting and blocking these spawns, but with only 12 seconds left, the Thieves are on rotation to New instead.
Yeah, it's a race to do. Scrap thankfully was able to spawn out, even with his teammates spawning all on the backside of P3, so he's going to have a big one-on-one gunfight. He's going to locate where Exit is and destroy him through the wall. So back spawns currently secure, but not for long, because Kismet, again, on a different angle, is trying to contest it. Hydra is now here to assist them, but it's still Scrap looking left and right, and he gets caught.
And the timing there as Exit finds another elimination, has Pred right back up into the action. He falls though, leaving Cell by himself. Falcon still spawning close, but the pressure from the front allows the Thieves to find entry. And now you've got Scrap trying to shake down the rotation on the outside, but Cell on the interior. Just an absolute pogo stick from wall to wall, and he's not almost able to double down, but once again, Kismet there for the trade, and the Falcons will reclaim the lead with 20 to fight for.
Yeah, this is a good 20 seconds to get as well, because now you're going to go over towards the P5 every single kill. As long as you take some space on the map, we'll spawn them behind you. But now Exton thinking about the roto. Gonna put himself towards top crate, get some information top mid. Let me line up a freebie, but his teammates are falling at the same time. So Exton, he has more in his hand and he cannot find anything. These were the rotation.
Yeah, but Cell has earned himself a Hellstorm. That's going to be called in to try to make this break attempt a little bit easier. You can see the Falcons stacked up just outside the first point of ingress. A couple of kills will come through. Hellstorm will not get Scrap out of position, though. Hydra finds a kill at mid-map, but he needs a little bit of help over towards the hill itself. Not going to happen. Kismet stunned up, not able to even get a shot off, so it's up to Exton. Knows where the contestants are, but just too many spots to look at. Thieves once again break, 30 seconds to fight.
Yeah, and they have all the control of the world. They have top mid, but as soon as I say that, Kismet checks the right corner, lines up that kill, but Kenny with the response from bottom dirt finds 3 in the feed. So this final 20 is going to go in favor of the Thieves. Lead swap again. So going into our second set of HPs, Falcons need to have an answer this time around for that early rotation at P3, but the P4 was the money hill, and now it's the early fights for mid.
Kenny nearly doubles down again. Abizi looking for the low health pool of his former teammate, but Cell battles back. 50-50 fights now over the top of New. Roughly a 20-point game, but Kenny not play wonder right back into the mix, and then impressive shots from Abizi as Thieves win every single gunfight over the top of the hill, and a chance to get this thing a little bit more into their favor as the lead grows.
Yeah, they have everything in control right now. You got Kismet who's going to have sort of a route to work his way behind window, but just based off the spawn that Abizi was going to get, you call it out to Hydra to turn around and be aware of it. But just forcing him to turn around and give up that oversight control from top window leads to a break now for the Falcons. Still a 20-point difference. Battles back and forth through the middle of the map, but the next key play is the rotation, and Pred is already in a position.
Finds the first for free. That will send the alarm bells ringing, though, for the Thieves. Oh my goodness, what a transfer for Cell. But Kenny responds. Again, he has been there every single time. It starts to get a little out of hand, it feels like. And it keeps the Falcons from running away with opportunities to get into this deficit maybe a little bit more convincingly. Still, P2 will open up in white. Pred trying to find the kill on the backside of the play, but Scrap, a little jiggle, a little elevation. Kenny follows, and Kismet's out of there.
And now you need to have some individual players making big plays. Kismet is getting lost around the solar panels, but eventually is going to get spotted by Kenny. Spawn side for the Falcons, but we cannot give up all this time here at P2. We gotta find a way to contest this, or at least get him out of it. Pred working his way through mid cut, selling him an exit, already combining for 2. You got the numbers, you gotta fly.
Well, here we go. See if there's opportunities to try to get this thing a little bit more out of hand if you're the Thief. Cell just resorted to the pistol. It might be good enough for a little bit of damage, but no eliminations. Pred now over the top, has to just wait and see if he can find any exits, and it looks like he's just not going to be able to. So there's now an opportunity for Exton to be the next one up. Hard point about to open, and Thieves once again playing for spawns first.
Big kill though from Celium, the only player who spawned out, knowing that Scrap was going to have to try to locate him, set up a proper pinch. But now you don't read the pressure coming through the bottom side. Thankfully, Exton had full HP in the dream. Locates 3 in a row to still hold on to this P3. Now all of these trying to jump in through front window. Oh no.
Well, here we go. Pred trying to hang on. Thieves have to wait for a moment. And whoa! I was gonna say that could maybe slide around Scrap, who nearly turns that into a bash down 3-piece. But still, the numbers for Thieves can start to flood a little bit further forward. Kismet, though, off the regen, gets an extra lease on life. That turns into 4 in a row as nades will start to exchange in the feed, and the Falcons will be back into the lead here with 10 seconds to fight, and Thieves backing up to New.
Yeah, and this is scary now because 2 players not dying off the rotation. Thieves are going to now rely on Kenny and Abizi to try to win this rotation over towards P4. Abizi does his job by getting 1, but Falcons, who are going to be late to the party at this money hill, are here here early on. Hexton trying to contest. He's going to get caught, but who cares? You still got teammates contesting for the spawns.
We saw this the first time through. It's all about getting the spawn first. Kismet trying to extend his life, not able to do much at all. So now you've got some freedom here from the front for Thieves. Xnid working on that, has Celium nearby. Kenny just trying to guard, if not possibly block the spawn, sees the big play over the top, snaps for another double. And Kenny finds himself at 21 and 19. The Thieves find themselves in the lead. Scrap, able to again go from 1 to 2 and clear out this Falcons break attempt again.
This has been perfect from Thieves. Even Chaos for Falcons. Players trying to mess towards the backside. They stay strong and tight around P4 and walk away with a majority of the time there to almost give them a 30-point lead going in towards P5. Xnid trying to find an opening. Scrap through bottom dirt trying to find an opening because Falcons have the early rotation they need to hold.
Yeah, they need someone to contest up high, and Pred's actually going to leave the low ground to wall jump up to ring. So kind of a sneaky spot for him as Thieves are trying to set up where their break's going to origin from, but no, it's not really going to do too much onto the hill itself. Xnid keeping his focus into multiple places at once. Good help from Celium. Off the reload. Does he get another? No, it's Hydra for the double. Thieves able to get on for a moment, but again, Falcons in a position to try to quickly collapse back onto the hill. Cell in some trouble. Values his life, backs away. Falcons off the respawn, hitting from the low ground, and the pitch set up from up high is decent, but not actually good enough to get the Thieves out of the hard point as Scrap finds another two-piece. Cell trying to do it all himself because why not? 25 and 19, 5 in a row before being shut down by Abizi as the Falcons will get a little bit of scrap time.
Now we're going into our third set, and I promise you, this is going to be one of those maps that we see all season long, ladies and gentlemen, where it's going to come down to the P2 HP to close out the map. A 13-point difference. P1 off the reset. Celium and Xnid trying to hold down the long alley. Just keep away from this P1 time.
Well, as it's gone in the first two sets, this P1 continues to stay open. The game clock not out of the picture right now with 1:40 left on it. So keep that in mind if this continues to drain on the clock. Kenny over the top in some trouble, backs away. Thieves with the numbers. Hydra turns that into a second. A little bit of space to work with, but Pred works that out. Kenny looking for the trade. Can't find it. Cell keeps the hard point neutral. 210, 193 with Falcons trying to get whatever time they can before we rotate over to 2. But Abizi's double has some staircase control here for Thieves.
Yeah, now Thieves are in the driver's seat. You already have players pushing out towards the opposite side of Solar. Rotation is going to be won by the squad in red. Abizi in a very crucial position to line up a couple. It's all about the trigger discipline. He's able to find the first. Abizi with the slide, not going to lead to the second, but it's the pinch now from Xnid. Can he find openings? Is able to find the first. That's 3 dead. Last player on the point. Kenny's just got to value his life, but he should get taken care of. The break is here for Falcons.
And you've got Pred pushing the spawns back just a touch, trying to get in a position to stop and eliminations before the reinforcements can get there. Not the case. Keep an eye on Kenny, though. He spawns out, and an opportunity to surprise this Falcons setup. Kismet can't turn to deal with it. 220, 207. Spawns are all over the place. As now Falcons find themselves a bit split. An unfortunate team kill comes through, and Thieves are on the hard point, still earning time, and they can win here.
Yeah, they can win here, but if you're the Falcons, this is an exact situation you want to be in. We just need to get them off of this time. We had the rotation to the P3 money hill. We need to try to contest this, and that's all you're going to do. Not allow them to win. You need to rotate over towards New, but players are dropping like flies, and now everyone across the map. Thieves can close it out at P3.
Yeah, the timing of the elimination's just not ideal for the Falcons. Kismet has to make the long journey over, and Abizi's prepared. No one else in the ballpark, and Thieves will close things out. Respect, though. Falcons fighting in both the two hard points against a very solid squad of the Thieves. Just a couple of things go wrong, and it keeps creating these windows of opportunity for the Thieves that they keep running through.
Yeah, it's the little things, man. It's when the chaos is brewing through the middle of the map and you need to value your life in certain situations to try to keep away from the HP time. That's why Thieves pick up players like Abizi, because he was just getting one and getting out, forcing players from the Falcons to break their setup and change their look, and that's what kept them on their toes the entire time. You do what you need to at the very end of the game. You get someone in a rotation position, but then it was just a heads-up play there from Thieves. Pretty sure it was Hydra. Who knows? All right, we can no longer win here. They have the pressure from the backside of Solar. Let me just work my way through the middle of the map and allow my teammates to make it scrappy at that old time. And as long as I put myself in the position, we're going to flip those spawns and put ourselves in the W column to close out the game. It was back and forth, man. It was definitely back and forth. Falcons gave them a run for their money, but it's just a little bit more polished when you talk about the teamwork and fundamental aspect there from the Thieves to close it out.
Yeah, little by little, that's going to be, I think, the name of the game here for how the Falcons have started this season and where they are, you know, kind of in the current, you know, power ranking, so to speak, and what schedule they still have in front of them. Like coming into this, you know, debut weekend, you're playing the reigning back-to-back champs. You're playing a Thieves superstar roster that, you know, is only a matter of time before they start to click, you feel like. And now you start to maybe, you know, consider where Falcons can spend their energy next, because you split the difference in the hard points, but again, Thieves is a great hard point team, and to be able to take one and have a chance to take both is incredible. Now you got to get to the lab and really work on things like what's gone wrong in search with map control, what's going wrong in terms of how we're playing around counterattacks and defenses when it comes to what we're doing in Overload, and they're gonna have a chance to do that versus Carolina and Boston, I think, next week. So overall thoughts on like just where you see Falcons going from here and where you kind of maybe now reevaluate Thieves after the weekend, Jay?
Oh, well, Thieves look fantastic. Without question, take care of easy work versus FaZe. And now this roster. On the opposite side for Falcons, you definitely showed improvements from what you did versus Optic in your very first series. And I think that this is just one of those rosters that's going to take some time. You see what they're capable of. They obviously got the players who are capable of slaying with the best of them. And when they get that teamwork aspect and the chemistry down, eventually they'll be a really good team.
Agree. But for now, it is the desk and their perfect predictions. Some of them staying still flawless. Congrats, Adley. We're crushing it this year. What the?
And the fans. And the fans.
Good call.
Smarter than us. Well done to everyone at home. You guessed the LA Thieves win, but I bet you weren't expecting a game one loss in that first hard point. The Falcons showcasing they got the slaying skill. It's only a matter of time before they figure out the rest of the fundamentals. And walk me through some of the highlights here. Game 4, right at the halfway point, Falcons actually retake the lead for a moment here from the Thieves.
Yeah, they're playing it well, man. Like, they had an idea how they wanted to play every hill. Thought they did an excellent job on P3. What really just got out of hand a bit is, like, they split time both times on the P5, right? And Falcons had such a good setup each time, but it's Hydra who makes a massive play. On the first P5, he gets through, he back spread all the way down, then kills Selim. And then the second time, you're thinking, okay, 60. We're about to get a full setup if you're Falcons. Hydra walks through the front and finds 2 kills. And you're seeing right here, it's like, okay, you have mid-map, that's the idea, but you still need to have a little bit of hill pressure. So it's like everything just wasn't happening at the same time for the Falcons. And in Black Ops 7, sometimes it can just be that way because of the speed of the movement.
100%. Personally, I loved this hard point. I think if this series taught me anything about Riyadh Falcons, I go back to what I said at the start of this was they need a game mode to really put all their eggs in one basket in that they can have as a safety net, and it's looking like it might be hard point. To be honest, I love the showings for both map 1 and map 4 from them. I saw the adjustments, excuse me, not map 1, just as map 4 in this exposure. I think they have a little more work to do on that Scar, but you can see the improvement slowly but surely. You know what I mean? Especially from the side of Xnet, you can see his decision making is getting a lot better. I just think there was a couple of times that they needed to work on their fundamentals.
We take a look at our scuff play of the game. Was it something from Overload? Nope. It's the young man, Abizi. How much money does he have? Well, he's earning more doing stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, you know, kind of what we talked about in Search and Destroy for the Falcons, where it's just so stale and they're trying to do like basic strats all stacking up on bomb, and Abizi just gets in and around, finds a kill, and then he repositions towards mid. And what do we want to do? Do we want to plant? Do we want to push him out? Okay, well, we'll go mid, try to push out that guy, and then Abizi just rewraps again, finds the kill. We have to commit to the plan at this point. Abizi with the cleanup and the clutch 1v2. This is why you pick this guy up for these types of rounds. And you see the player reactions like, how the hell you get away with this, man?
That's on my
Because they're hesitating, dude. You give Abizi an inch, he'll take a mile.
He takes it all. Right now, we are joined, though, in the Monster Winner Spotlight by Abizi's teammate. He goes by the name of Kylo sometimes. Kenny, how we feeling right now? It seems like the guy that won a world championship for LA Thieves is back in the right jersey.
Yeah, feels great right now. Starting the season off 2-0 with the team, so got a lot of things to still improve on, but finish out good. So I'm feeling great right now.
Nice.
Kenny, you know, coming into the new season, you find yourself on a star-studded lineup. You have been performing. For you during the offseason, was there anything else? Was there anything that you decided to maybe change coming into the year in your own, personal performance or the way that you approach God?
Yeah. I mean, I always approach COD like team-based, so like just teamwork above all. But I think this year was just getting my mental straight, just focusing more on myself, getting myself back to where I am, like confidence-wise, in and out of games. So I think that was the main thing for me all season. And got into the gym, started working out, you know, and then also just hanging out with the team a lot. I feel like that's the biggest thing right now is like we're all from different teams. We're not, I guess, Scrap and Hydra, but it's just getting on the same page and getting our chemistry up and our team culture. So that's always big to me. And I think that's one big thing that, you know, equates to winning. So that's one thing right now I'm definitely working on is just getting the boys all on the same page.
Hey, Kenny, I love that. I feel like you've done that every year, even when you were back on the Minnesota Rocker with the younger guns. You were also the one kind of leading the way. Like, we need to hang out. We need to build this chemistry. That's really important for finding success as a world champion. So I'm going to be a little silly here because we always see you guys having a great time in the player camps. Who is the funniest teammate that you have right now on this squad?
I would probably say Hydra. He's pretty funny. He has some funny remarks. I think him being French is definitely a key part of it, but I don't know. He just says some funny things that you don't expect him to say, and I think that's what makes him funny. But I think we overall got a pretty funny vibe and, you know, a good vibe, even when we're losing like map 1 today. We're still in good mood, so I think that's a big thing for me, especially.
Kenny, let me ask you about that map 1, actually. Obviously, it was a phenomenal series. You guys win 3-1. But at the end there, we get over towards that P2. Exit makes the play. They spawn behind you guys. Was that just like a lapse in judgment, like you guys not realizing he could flank and pinch, or what happened there?
I think that's one thing right now in our hard punch we need to do is just slow it down a bit. We're a pretty fast-paced team, so I think sometimes people get lost, we get lost in the game sometimes. So I think that's just the main thing. And right there, I think we did call he could pinch, but it was like way too late.
Yeah.
I don't really know what happened. I haven't watched it back. I just know that that was a calm. Like, he can pinch, and then as soon as that was calm, we were dead. But I think that's just like the main thing is just slowing it down and getting on the same page. Yeah,
absolutely.
Agreed.
Kenny, this last one is for our editor just to complete the piece. Before your matchup, we showed a highlight of Ben J 2v4ing Nameless and
He didn't get a kill
in the same lobby. You have never lost to Ben J from what I've seen on the internet. Any words of advice for my man Stud?
No words. Ben J's my agent, so like, if you lost to Ben J, unlucky, because I might have taught him what he, you know, I don't know.
Studdy ran away from Ben J. Yo, Ken, Studdy ran away from Ben J round 11.
You're not channeling?
He had a sniper pistol. He didn't know it was Ben. He ran away from him.
Kenny,
that's not the J I know. That's not the J I know. That's not the J I know.
They said we got to pay Ben J royalties if we keep talking about that clip. That is Kenny. Goodbye to my guy. Congratulations on another LA Thieves victory. If you're looking for an MVP, was there an easy standout player today in your eyes?
I'd probably go with Scrap. I mean, he was moving, man.
He was cooking.
You could pick anybody from this team, but yeah, I'll go with Scrap.
I might go Ken. Just because of his performance in Search and Destroy, goes 7-3. They play it perfect, and I think if you have LA Thieves, already a really strong respawn team, you give them a solid S&D like that, speechless.
Guess the MVP for the next match in the chat right now, because when we return, it's the Parish Gentlemates taking on Simp, Draza, and FaZe Vegas.
Banger.
Official controller of the CDL.
Monster Energy, official energy drink of the CDL.
Part of the process. I was wrong, baby, that's nonsense. Now I'm waist deep in my conscience. I know I got some enemies, so I don't know who to trust. Gotta sort out the energy. Good and bad, no one's a must. Now I'm in with the wrong crowd. The days are getting long now. Don't know how much longer I'm holding out. The time is ticking, it's going down. I'm waist deep, gotta get out. I'm waist deep, gotta get out. What I get myself in now? I'm waist deep, gotta get out. Man, I gotta keep moving. It's up to me, I gotta do it. Man, I gotta keep moving. It's up to me, I gotta do it.